Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As the co-lead of this bill, who had the pleasure of working alongside Representative Bishop in its development, I am in strong favor of this legislation. The last 3 years have been particularly eye-opening as the online censorship widely speculated to be occurring was confirmed through the Twitter files, the documents produced in Missouri versus Biden, and most notably, the oversight work of the Judiciary Committee and our select subcommittee on the weaponization of the federal government. The censorship industrial complex is entrenched in our federal agencies and even in the White House itself. It coerces, threatens, funds, and cooperates with private entities to monitor, suppress, and remove speech which does not fit its preferred political narrative. 42 U.S.C. Section 1983, which was adopted after the Civil War, affords Americans the opportunity to hold state and local government officials responsible for a breach of their rights. According to Section 1983, it states that every person who, under color of any statute, ordinance, regulation, custom, or usage of any state or territory or the District of Columbia, subjects or causes to be subjected any citizen of the United States or other person within the jurisdiction thereof to the deprivation of any rights, privileges, or immunities secured by the Constitution and laws shall be liable to the party injured in an action at law, suit in equity, or other proper proceeding for redress. The discovery of the censorship industrial complex shows that it is long past time that we also create a federal right as well, especially in relation to the First Amendment. The First Amendment, as Representative Bishop explained, addresses freedom of speech, free exercise of religion, the right to peaceably assemble, and the right to petition our government for redress. But the Censorship Accountability Act is the product of Congress working as it is intended. It is informed through oversight and provides a tailored, direct solution to the issues uncovered. It is an elegant solution to the crisis that we are facing in this country with our federal government attempting to violate or violating the First Amendment rights of citizens across this great country. While the existing Section 1983 statute covers all constitutional rights, our act is intentionally focused and limited to preserving the First Amendment rights in large part because the other constitutional provisions are addressed by other mechanisms. It is first and foremost designed to deter censorship, the issue that we have been focusing on in the Select Committee on the Weaponization of the Federal Government. So if and when bureaucrats target your First Amendment rights again, recourse would be provided to the people. The wide range of officials across the Department of Justice, Department of Homeland Security, and other government agencies involved in censorship all share one common identity. They are unelected and entirely unaccountable to the people. Yet these bureaucrats continue to grow in size and power and are beginning to increasingly wield this power against the American people they were intended to serve. The Censorship Accountability Act finally brings accountability for violations of our First Amendment rights, the ones which are the most fundamental to our freedom. There is simply no reason federal officials are held to a lower standard than state and local officials, especially when the stakes are this high. I hope all members of this committee support this legislation. The legislative branch and the fourth branch, that being the media, uncovered this abuse, and the judicial branch has so far confirmed that the executive is violating our rights. If we can't legislate based on oversight conducted, and if we cannot hold the federal government accountable for discovery of this magnitude of governmental abuse, then whenever could we actually address these very serious issues? While the censorship uncovered today is targeted against the conservative side, tomorrow it could very well be the left. And this bill is drafted as a measure of recourse for all Americans for the preservation of their First Amendment rights. And there is no reason a single member of this committee should oppose it. I want to thank Mr. Bishop for his leadership and partnership in developing this critical legislation, and I urge all of my colleagues to support it. With that, I yield back.